afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on ICU Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Have you ever considered moving to another country where you don't know the customs, you know absolutely no one, but you're working for an international company, and so the boss just comes to you and says, would you consider moving abroad? You go home, you talk to your spouse about it. What are your thoughts about moving to another country? And so maybe she just had a run-in with or he has had a run-in with maybe their neighbors or their family, and they go, yeah, let's just go. We got to get out of here. But you haven't considered other things. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about that today, because I've been quite interested in moving to another country. We've visited other countries, and I'll have to tell you, things are a little different than they are here. You will find out we are a free country, even though we fuss and fight with each other all the time on the different sides when it comes to politics. You'll find that it's still a pretty good country to live in right here. So let's talk about that. 11 tips for moving abroad for work. So achieving your career goals or working for your chosen profession sometimes requires moving abroad. Now, this can be a multiple step process, and that features many considerations. Having tips for success to reference can help you develop confidence you need to transform to a new country. So we're going to talk about 11 tips that can help you prepare for the move and transition more efficiently. Okay, here we go. First of all, number 1, prepare your support network. Now, if you have a family that might move with you, perhaps you're moving abroad with a favorite colleague. Alternatively, you could move abroad by yourself. Now, it helps to consider what support system you may have once you arrive at the destination. If they can't have a physical presence with you, modern technology makes staying connected with friends and loved ones much more simple. I remember when the internet came out, we lived in a military town, close to a military town, Fort McClellan. And so what was so awesome, and this is before Fort McClellan was closed down, is families could actually use the internet to talk with each other. Yeah, so Dad maybe moved abroad to help serve the country, and so he was able to see his kids and his wife, and that's just pretty doggone awesome. I was just so impressed with that. And I was working for a cell phone company at that time. And then the internet came out, and it was just all a buzz. And I remember the first thing I thought of is, wow, this is going to be really amazing for military families. So the internet does make it easier to connect. So that's a gimme right there. Okay, let's see. Your support system can help you with the transition into your new country, whether they support you in person or online. Preparing on how to connect with them can help you find the comfort of home when you need it, and you will. It would have been neat if this could have happened in World War I, World War II, and past wars, where I'm sure being in the military can't be an easy thing, but being able to connect with your family or your friends via the internet is just awesome. Okay, number 2, and this is a really important one, research the cost of living. By understanding the cost of living in your new area, you can prepare for a budget for your new living situation. This can also help you determine at which area makes the most sense for you to live. Having an accurate budget for your new lifestyle can help you find an apartment or a home that fits your needs and lies within that budget. By figuring out the cost of living, you can also deduct necessary expenses from your salary to determine your actual take-home pay, so you can understand how much you can save while working abroad. Number 3, evaluate your career goals. Maybe it's not the right timing, so let's talk about this. It's possible moving abroad can help you achieve the career goals. If you're unsure about this, consider researching ways to achieve these goals in your new home country. Local rules, regulations, and culture might help you reach the goals more quickly abroad, provided you understand how to do so and prepare accordingly. By the way, this information is found on Indeed.com. Indeed.com. So there's another related article that pertains to setting goals to improve your career. So why setting goals is important? Now, we all know that. First of all, I can imagine running a business or working for any company anywhere without setting a goal. Setting goals is important because it gives you a framework to achieve your milestones. Now, wanting to do or complete certain things in life is a great start. Goal setting provides a path for you to actually do them. There are two types of goals you should consider setting: short term and long term. And here's what I do: I like to actually start out my long term goal. Where do I want to be in 5 years? And that's really important. You know, a lot of folks are in for what's in it for right now, and that's important too. But you need to set a long-term goal so you can go back. So I like to go 5 years. Okay, first time I set a goal. That's what we did when we started this company. And I started the show back in 2005. It was a 5-year goal that turned into several years now. So working on 30 years. So it's important that you set the goal. So I like a 5-year plan. Then I'll break it down to 1 year. And let me tell you about this. You need to really, when you're setting your goals, you need to allow for inconsistencies. Life happens. Things are going to happen. You may get married. Maybe you are single and you get married, but you're going to have a whole new set of goals once you get married. So you'll need to start all over again. So I go from 5 to 1 year. Okay, then I want to break that down into months. I want to break it down into monthly goals. What do I need to do? And then it's a good idea to break that down into weekly goals. You want to set that on, it's not divided by 12 now. It's divided by the weeks in the year. Then you also want to do your daily goals and allow some time for resting. Okay, you really need to do that. I learned that the hard way a long time ago. So setting the goals is important. Now, what are the short-term goals? Short-term goals are more immediate goals that you set for yourself to achieve your larger long-term goals, such as like I move away. I've got to set some goals so I can know I can pay my bills when this is whether you move away or not. You need to set goals for your income. Okay, so short-term goals usually exist in a short frame time, anywhere from days or months to 1 or 2 years. Now, examples, I'm looking to see what time it is. Examples of short-term goals might include completing small tasks or projects, gaining experience, or taking classes. You will use what you accomplished in the short-term goal to complete your long-term goals. Now, what are long-term goals? Okay, long-term goals are usually large goals you want to achieve over several years. I like to do the 5-year. I like to begin there. You will use several milestones to achieve long-term goals, like setting short-term goals to achieve along the way. Now, long-term goals might include getting a job in a certain career, being promoted to a certain level, or completing a lengthy, complicated project. This is important because maybe you decide you don't want to live abroad forever. You're just doing this as a way to get yourself set up, maybe for another position within your company, or maybe even starting your own company where you can say, hey, I lived abroad for 5 years. So I know the customs, I know what it's like. I can help you with your goals. So the whole idea about setting yourself a goal is to be able to help others with their goals. Setting personal goals is extremely important because now you got to have a life. It can't be all about work. Setting goals for your personal life will help you reach personal achievements. You might set personal goals to advance several categories in your life for things like hobbies, health, or education. Also, setting personal goals can help you achieve success in your career as well. You know why? Because you're going to be a more grounded person. Too much work now is not good for you. And I like to work too, so I'm kind of preaching to myself, but you've got to have some personal downtime. Now, advancing your interest by building experience in hobbies you enjoy or skills you want to improve can easily transfer into your professional life. There are often good things that include on your resume if relevant to the jobs you're applying for. Spending time improving on things you want in your personal life can also help you be more focused and energetic at work by paying attention to your work-life balance. Now, here are a few personal goals, example goals. Okay, and these are good ones. This will get the mind going, okay? It'll get you ticking. Okay, so advanced hobbies like playing a musical instrument or playing a sport. That could be a good one. Improving on skills like graphic design or public speaking. That's the one I worked on. You'd have to know how shy I was. When I graduated from high school, I actually got quietest in the class. But I set myself a goal. I got to thinking about that. How far is that going to get me in life if I'm that shy? I can't get up in front of people and I can't speak. How's that going to hurt me? Or would that help me? So I decided, well, so what kind of a career would I like to have? I thought about a career being a speaker. Yeah, from a shy person. Yeah, I actually thought about that. And then I kind of transitioned to talk show host. But a lot of it's self-taught. I hung out at the library a lot. I mean, it was just, one of those things. So I read up on a lot of things. I watched a lot of tapes. Back then we had tapes and 8-tracks. And so I watched every tape I could get my hands on. Books written by talk show hosts and speakers. I got those, what they would do again, what they would not do again. That's important to know as well. And speaking can actually open up the doors to a lot of things. So it actually helped me. Now, I read books on successful people and not successful people. And the reason I did that is to find out what to do and what not to do. Okay, so that's just as important as well. Okay, now increasing your knowledge about a certain topic or an area of study, which is what I did. I focused right in on it, focusing on building or improving relationships. Financial goals like saving for a certain purchase. Like we like to pay cash for cars. To me, you are just, if you're making car payments, and I know a lot of times now it's difficult not to do that. Maybe you get caught in a tight and you have to. But I do not like a car payment. I don't. I mean, you're that money. First of all, when you drive the new car off the lot, you're already losing thousands of dollars. I just can't do it. And then if I'm making payments on a used one, well then, I mean, that's just my goal, okay? My goal is not to make any kind of payments. So what I like to do, if I have to drive something, less demanding, something that doesn't look as good as I think it should, that's fine. I can do that for a short period of time. But I've got to get my goal and I've got to focus on it, and I've got to really follow that to make that work. Okay, we're about ready to go into a break, so let me hurry up and rush with this one right here. Financial goals like saving for a certain purchase. Physical goals like training for a marathon or completing a certain fitness challenge. We all need these goals. You need professional goals as well as your, there we go. You need professional goals as well as you need personal goals. Okay, let's go ahead and cut into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a minute, so hang in there, okay? At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and a Bind That Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you again so much for watching. We're talking about evaluating your career goals. And, what if, an opportunity comes and I have to move out of the country? So that's part of it. So the first thing we talked about was preparing your support network. Internet makes it a lot easier. So if you have to leave family behind or your friends behind, you can still connect with them on the internet. Research the cost of living is very, very important. I remember my cousin Steve. So we were coming home. There had been a death in the family. So I was in Atlanta at a business meeting, and Steve lived there. So I got in contact with him and told him, I said, I got to get back home. And he said, well, instead of flying back, he said, why don't you just let me drive you and you will ride back home. So he was all excited because he started this new job. And now this is back a long time ago, okay? So he was making $1,000 a month, which was big money for back then. Very quickly, he found out $1,000 in Atlanta doesn't go as far as $1,000 in Oxford, Alabama. So he had to rethink that one. He really did. So anyway, he wound up getting a raise and he wound up doing very well for himself. But anyway, you really need to research the cost of living. So by understanding the cost of living, you can set yourself a budget. Then we talked about evaluating your career goals, which also indicates you need to really think about those personal goals as well. Now, number 4, compare your pay abroad to your pay at home. And we kind of touched on that just a few minutes ago, but the rate of pay in your new role abroad might differ from your rate at home. Sometimes it's possible to learn more abroad than before moving. So understanding your new rate of pay can prepare you to pay your bills and other expenses and provide for the unexpected quality of life. What if some food, their native food, doesn't agree with you and you wind up in the hospital for 6 months? Things like that do happen. Sometimes, since some companies pay more in other countries, you may be able to pay your bills more efficiently than at home, helping you reach financial goals more easily. This can improve both your budget and your quality of life while living abroad. Now, number 5, consider the new skills you can learn if you do move abroad. So, working in a new country, you may need to learn a new language and a new culture. This can also help you learn other new skills such as improved and effective communication. You do a lot of sign language when you first go to another country, by the way. Networking might also require new cultural considerations you don't currently use. With this, it can be helpful to consider researching potential new skills you might need to develop. Some other skills you might need to learn include problem solving, empathy, and teamwork. Those really need to be used here in the States too. Considering your additional skills can also help you improve your confidence in moving abroad. For instance, by moving into a new culture, it's likely you'll develop your things that you're currently unaware of that you might need. So developing professionally in this way can help diversify your full skill set in the future. Bonus features like this can help you feel confident in accepting the challenge of moving abroad. Now, remain adaptable. Okay, no matter how much research you do, you might still consider the occasional unexpected situation. The culture in your new country is likely different from what you're used to. I mean, just plain old moving from the south up north can give you a different culture. The culture in a new country is probably going to be different. You're going to encounter these differences. So it's important to find ways of adapting to your new environment. Adapting can also help you fit in better and overcome challenges as they occur. And a little bit later on, we're going to talk about adaptive skills, the definition, and a few examples of those. Now, number 7, manage your expectations. Whether it's increased pay, improved skills, or anything else you might expect from moving to a new country, it's important to manage your expectations. Keeping your expectations reasonable can help you maintain adaptability in the face of any potential unexpected challenges and differences. Also, managing expectations can allow you to foster positivity when you encounter unexpected situations. Research certification requirements. If your job requires certifications, those requirements might differ in your new home country. So researching these requirements can help you earn new certifications before you go or prepare to earn those certifications once you arrive. Now, understanding these requirements can also help you begin the certification process before you move, so you can complete it more quickly after moving into your new area. Number 9, prepare living arrangements. Now, many areas have housing and property listings online. Through these websites, you might find living space you like, contact the owner, and arrange payment plans and any rental paperwork that is needed. Completing this process can offer you the comfort of having a place to stay once you arrive. It can also give you more time to complete other arrival tasks, such as finding transportation or meeting with your employer. And it wouldn't hurt if you have some pen pals you've been talking to online and you feel confident with them, ask them where the good and the bad areas are. That's important as well. Okay, number 10, you need to visit before moving, okay? A good way to familiarize yourself with the area, culture, and people in your new country is to visit it before moving there. A few days in your new environment can give you more time to do such things as tour your neighborhood. That's important. Find important spots like local businesses, hospitals, and police stations. Learn some of the nearby roads and paths. Meet your neighbors, landlord, and new boss. See your new living space in person. Sometimes, I know you find this hard to believe, but sometimes pictures are not exactly as they are in real life that they use online. Okay, sign any documents you may need. That's a good thing to do. All these things are really important to do. Visit before moving. Okay, now, number 11, consider your current home. Depending on the length you stay abroad, it might be necessary to sell or rent your current home or end any lease agreement you previously entered. Now, understanding whether taking these actions is necessary and the deadline for doing so can help you prepare for completing this process. If this isn't necessary, you might still wish to arrange for someone to take care of your home. Collect your mail, make sure things stay safe while you're away. Don't let the mail pile up. That's a surefire way for thugs to come in and try to steal everything you get, especially if they know you are living abroad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, when you go on vacations, don't tell anybody you're on vacation. Don't run out there taking Facebook Lives and stuff like that, because thugs are watching you when you think they're not. Could be your neighbor. You just never know. Okay, now we were talking just a few minutes ago about adaptive skills at work, examples and how you can improve those. I'm not going to be able to dig a whole lot into this because we're going to be calling it a day in just about a little bit under 4 minutes. But what are adaptive skills? And then we're going to talk about examples of adaptive skills. Adaptive skills are skills that you can develop so you can continue to grow and learn in your workplace environment. It can also be about family as well, so family work as well. Because the workplace can be unpredictable, skills that show your adaptability and ability to work with any employer when they're hiring a new employee for a role. These skills can also involve being resourceful and open-minded, or improving your oral and written communication. Now let's talk about some examples of adaptive skills. There are different adaptive skills you can build to help you find continued success in any workplace, including collaboration. Most hiring managers look for new employees who can work as part of a team. That's a big thing you're hearing right now. In nearly every job, teamwork is both valuable and necessary to meet business goals and having an efficient environment. While it's also important to be able to work independently, you may also appeal to the hiring manager during an interview, or to your current manager if they're considering you for a promotion, if you display your ability and willingness to collaborate. Okay, willingness to learn. You can't be a know-it-all. I mean, first of all, I don't know how anybody can be a know-it-all the way things keep adapting and changing because of technology and because of other factors, the situation of the world, the crises that we're in the United States and all over the world. You can't be a know-it-all, okay? It just won't work. And I'm going to tell you something. A big turn-off to someone who's interviewing you is if you think you know more than they do. Don't do that. You let them know you have knowledge, but you also need to let them know that you're willing to learn. Anything you don't know, and if you don't know it, you need to tell them. You need to say, you know something, that's not a skill I ever used. That's just one of the skills that I didn't use, but I sure am willing to learn. And you seem like you'd be a good teacher. Perfect response right there. One of the biggest ways you can showcase your adaptive skills is your willingness to learn. Even if you've been at a company for many years, there's always an opportunity to learn something new, because they just may have new ways of doing things. Or maybe they're doing it the old way and it works for them. You need to adapt to them. They don't need to adapt to you. Whether that's shadowing a co-worker in another department, or asking your manager for additional responsibilities that take you just a little bit outside that comfort zone. A lot of folks, when during the job interview, and this is for whether you're going to stay here in the States or working abroad, they're testing you to see how adaptable you are. And a lot of things they mention to you and ask you questions about are things you'll never face. They just want to know how adaptable you are. Thank you so much for watching The Edge. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and please don't forget that podcast. You're going to love it. NetNewsNetwork.net. Again, thank you so much for watching.